Opening visuals. A breathtaking aerial view of Nanga Parbat. Snow-covered peaks rise into the clouds with dramatic, slow-motion shots highlighting the sheer scale and rugged beauty of the mountain. Nanga Parbat, the ninth highest mountain in the world, stands as a monument to nature's raw power and unforgiving beauty. Known as the Killer Mountain, it has claimed the lives of many climbers, yet continues to lure adventurers from around the world. But why does this peak hold such a dangerous allure? Today we unravel the untold stories of Nanga Parbat. Chapter 1. The Killer Mountain's reputation description of Nanga Parbat's geography. Details about its height, 8,126 meters, the Rupal face, the tallest mountain face in the world, and its location in the Himalayas. Discuss its local name, diameter, and its significance to the communities that live in its shadow. Why is it called the Killer Mountain? Statistics on fatalities during early expeditions. Harrowing stories of failed climbs, focusing on the tragedies of the 1930s German expeditions. Voiceover. Quote, "For every successful ascent, Nanga Parbat has taken its toll, earning its grim nickname through decades of tragedy." Chapter 2. The First Ascent and Early Expeditions. Hermann Buhl's historic solo ascent in 1953. Dramatic retelling of his climb without supplemental oxygen. The challenges he faced: frostbite, exhaustion, and isolation. Early German expeditions. Details about the 1934 German team led by Willy Merkel and the tragic avalanche that killed several climbers. The impact of these tragedies on the climbing community and Germany's obsession with the mountain. Chapter 3. Legends and local myths. Folklore and mystical beliefs. Stories from local communities about spirits guarding the mountain. The idea that Nanga Parbat is cursed for those who disrespect it. Interviews with local guides and Sherpas, real or fictionalized. Their perspectives on the dangers of the mountain and the spiritual significance it holds. Chapter 4. Modern climbing challenges. Winter ascents. The story of Ali Sadpara, Alex Chicon, and Simone Moro completing the first winter ascent in 2016. Why winter climbs are particularly deadly due to extreme weather and avalanches. The evolution of mountaineering technology, comparing the gear used in the 1930s to modern equipment. How technology has improved survival rates but hasn't eliminated the dangers. Chapter 5. Tragic tales and lessons. Learned famous tragedies, the 1970 Messner Brothers expedition and the loss of Günther Messner. 2013 Nanga Parbat massacre, where 11 climbers were killed by militants at a base camp. Lessons from the mountain. What climbers have learned about risk management and respect for nature. Insights from survivors who escaped near-death experiences on Nanga Parbat. Chapter 6. Conservation and environmental impact, climate change and its effects on the Himalayas. How rising temperatures are increasing the risk of avalanches and altering the landscape. Efforts to preserve the mountain's ecosystem. Role of Nanga Parbat in adventure tourism. The economic benefits for local communities and the associated environmental challenges. Chapter 7. The Allure of Nanga Parbat. Why climbers keep coming back. Interviews with mountaineers about the spiritual and physical allure of climbing Nanga Parbat. The psychological challenge and the satisfaction of conquering one of the most dangerous peaks in the world. Chapter 8. The science behind the Killer Mountain geological formation of Nanga Parbat. How tectonic forces shape the Himalayas, focusing on Nanga Parbat's rapid uplift, 7 millimeters per year. Its unique position at the western edge of the Himalayan range. Why it's so dangerous: avalanches, rockfall, and weather unpredictability. Comparisons to other peaks in terms of climbing difficulty and fatality rates. Chapter 9. The mystique of solo climbs. The allure of solo ascents. Stories of climbers like Hermann Buhl and others who braved the mountain alone. Psychological challenges of solo climbing. Famous solo climbing tragedies, exploring incidents where solo expeditions turned fatal. Chapter 10. Women on Nanga Parbat breaking barriers in mountaineering. highlight the contributions of women like Naila Kiani and Samina Baig. Challenges unique to women in high-altitude climbing. The growing community of female climbers insights into how women are reshaping mountaineering culture. Chapter 11. The role of local communities, Sherpas and guide stories of the unsung heroes who make expeditions possible. The cultural and economic impact of tourism on the local communities. Preservation efforts by locals. How local tribes are working to balance development with environmental conservation. Chapter 12. Innovations in high-altitude mountaineering advancements in climbing gear, comparing traditional tools with modern equipment. Rescue technologies. How drones, thermal imaging, and other tech are saving lives on the mountain. Chapter 13. Nanga Parbat in pop culture. The mountain in literature and film books and documentaries inspired by Nanga Parbat, such as Nanga Parbat, 2010. Artistic depictions. How the mountain has influenced artists and photographers. Chapter 14. Spiritual connections to Nanga Parbat, sacred significance. How local myths and spiritual beliefs perceive the mountain. Mountaineers' reflections. Personal accounts of climbers finding spiritual meaning in their ascents. Chapter 16. Nanga Parbat's rival peaks. Comparing the dangers, contrast with other Himalayan giants like K2 and Everest. What makes it unique analysis of why climbers are drawn specifically to Nanga Parbat. Chapter 17. The role of technology in climbing tech-savvy expeditions. Modern gadgets climbers use, GPS, altitude trackers, and weather forecasting apps. Impact of technology on traditional mountaineering. The balance between preserving the purity of climbing and ensuring safety. Chapter 18. Weather on Nanga Parbat, extreme conditions. How the mountain's unique geography creates unpredictable weather. Weather and fatalities. Stories of expeditions that were derailed by sudden storms. Chapter 19. First-hand accounts. Interviews with climbers include personal narratives from survivors and those who lost teammates. Lessons learned insights from mountaineers about preparation, risk, and decision-making. Chapter 20. Environmental impact of expeditions. Trash on the mountain. The growing issue of waste left behind by climbers. Initiatives for sustainable climbing efforts by organizations and local authorities to clean and preserve the mountain. Chapter 21. The role of national pride. Pakistan's claim to fame. Nanga Parbat as a symbol of national identity and pride for Pakistan. International perspectives. How the mountain is viewed by the global climbing community. Chapter 22. Documenting Nanga Parbat. Challenges of filming stories of filmmakers and photographers braving the mountain to capture its essence. Famous documentaries. A look at works like Nanga Parbat, 2010, and other visual tributes. Chapter 23. Rescue missions on Nanga Parbat. Daring rescues, highlighting heroic efforts to save climbers in peril. Fatal errors, examining instances where rescue missions ended tragically. Chapter 24. Training for Nanga Parbat. What it takes to climb physical, mental, and technical preparation for such a demanding ascent. Advice from experts. Training tips and insights from seasoned mountaineers. Chapter 25. The psychological toll of climbing. Chapter 15. The legacy of Nanga Parbat. What the mountain teaches us, reflections on human resilience, ambition, and the fragility of life. Looking to the future. How Nanga Parbat might evolve with climate change and modern mountaineering trends. Conclusion, final reflections. A summary of the mountain's dual nature, its beauty and its deadly history. A tribute to those who lost their lives and those who achieved greatness. Closing visuals. Sunset over Nanga Parbat, with the camera panning across its majestic slopes. Conclusion. Final reflections. A summary of the mountain's dual nature, its beauty and its deadly history. A tribute to those who lost their lives and those who achieved greatness. Closing visuals. Sunset over Nanga Parbat, with a camera panning across its majestic slopes. Voiceover.